These quick tasks are going to make it so much easier to 1, stop bringing clutter into your home, and 2, get any clutter that's already there out. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Laura and I help you live a simpler, happier, more spacious life. And let's just dive right in. The first task on this list is to flip all of your hangers around or give yourself some visual aid that is going to make it very obvious to you which are the items you are actually using and which are the ones you're just fooling yourself that you're using. There have been so many items in my home over the years that have outstayed their welcome because I either thought that I was using them more frequently than I actually was, or I thought I would use them in the very near future. I looked at it and I thought, oh yeah, I will use that. I'll keep that because I'm definitely going to use that. No. So this method is a foolproof way to identify what is simply taking up space in your home. For the hanger example, for instance, so you flip all of your hangers around so they're facing the wrong way and you only turn them back around the right way when you wear, wash and put back the item that was on that hanger. And over time, it will become very clear which are the clothes you're actually wearing and which are the ones that have not seen the light of day in a long time, because those will be the ones that are still facing the wrong way. Similarly then, for other things, you could do something like put sticky notes on them, for instance, on your books, and only take them off as you read those books or as you use the item or as you admire the item, because it's not just all about use, it is sometimes about the beauty of an item. I would say to choose one small space or one small category of items, mark those ones and then give yourself a deadline, maybe 6 months from now, maybe a year from now, and revisit, and it will be very obvious to you which items did not make the cut. Those are the ones that you know you can live without. Next on the list of decluttering tasks is unwanted gifts. These are the things that hang around all year long, not just taking up physical space, but also mental and emotional space, because we feel guilty every time we see it. Marie Kondo talks about using gifts as soon as you get them, even if you're not sure that you'll like them, but instead of leaving them in the box, instead of leaving them in the bag and maybe throwing them in a corner somewhere, make a concerted effort to take them out, interact with them, use them. That is how you truly honor the gift and the gift giver. And you may find that you actually do like it after all. But if not, if you know this thing is definitely not for you, then do something about it. You could re-gift it potentially, you could possibly return it to the shop if it came with a gift receipt, or you could donate it. I know it's not always easy to do, especially if you have someone in your life who tends to ask to see the item afterwards. Then you can keep it for their next visit, but generally most people won't. So this coming year, make a concerted effort to either use a gift immediately or to get rid of it in whatever way makes most sense. But do not let guilt have a grip on your home and take up all of that precious space. We have a guest joining us, but this next one is deceptively simple. She's trying to climb into my lap, but I know that every time I do it, I declutter a lot more. And not only that, but my family, your tail is back in the door, my family declutters a lot more. Back it up. Nah. Right, okay. So definitely try it out if you are struggling to get other people on board. That is putting donation boxes in easily accessible places. What you doing? The attention seeking. The amount of times that I have thought about getting rid of something, but then I had nowhere to put it. So I either just set it aside, maybe I even put it back, and then over time, I just completely forget about it. It gets moved around some more, maybe like other stuff gets piled on top of it, and after a while I don't remember that I was actually going to get rid of it, or it just ends up in a completely different place, like out of sight, out of mind. Or something that I hate, somebody else in the house sees that I've left something lying around, and then it becomes a free-for-all, because if someone else can do it, then they can do it. Before you know it, you just got a mess everywhere. Instead, having a designated spot for things to go, particularly in key areas, like in the closet or like by your back door, it's going to streamline your decluttering. When something is easy and clear, you and other people are much more likely to stick to it. I have donation boxes all over, and I've noticed, as a kind of like unintended but wonderful consequence, that my husband and my daughter are much more likely to use them. They've actually started putting stuff in them because they're there, easily accessible, ready to go. This also goes for bins too, like trash cans, putting those in places where trash tends to accumulate, like maybe by your couch or by your bed, putting baskets and trays where papers or craft supplies or toys tend to build up. Essentially, you are creating a clutter vehicle, something that makes it easy to collect all of the stuff that is already congregating in those areas and deliver it wherever it needs to go. Here's something that's going to be particularly helpful when it comes to keeping clutter out of your house, especially when you are shopping. It is making 2 lists. The first is a list of stuff that you actually need, and the second is a list of stuff that you definitely do not need. One of the biggest ways that I've managed to stop myself from bringing clutter into the house is just to stop shopping. That's a little bonus tip for you, because if you can't see it, you can't be tempted by it. It's easier to avoid temptation completely than it is to try and resist it. But obviously it's not always possible to completely avoid the shops. Keep a running list on your phone of things that you actually need so that you know where to focus your energy and attention, so you're less likely to get sidetracked, plus you're less likely to forget something, which means that you'll have to go back to the shop, so thus exposing yourself to even more temptation. And be as specific as possible. So for example, if you're looking for a new basket or a new storage container, have the dimensions in your phone as well, so that if you do come across one, you will instantly know whether or not it's going to work in your space, and you won't be bringing something home on a wing and a prayer, just like hoping that it fits and then finding out that it doesn't. But equally, keep a list of things that you do not need. I have also found this very effective. I do it when I notice something is piling up, when I notice that I have multiples of the same thing, or if I find that I'm buying a lot of the same things kind of just in case, like I start stockpiling things. I did this with a shower gel years ago. There was one that I liked, and every time I saw it on offer, I would buy it, and it would be like 3 for 2 or buy one get one free or something, and then I would pick it up, I would bring it home, and I would put it with the other 11 bajillion bottles of it that I already had. It took me years to get through that shower gel. So I added it to that list of things not to buy in future. I also do this for dental products, still working my way through those. But these 2 lists are going to help you focus on what to buy and what not to buy, so that you're not just bringing a whole pile of clutter home with you. In a similar vein to that, then, another decluttering task that you can take on is to decide that there is one particular item that you are just not going to buy for the foreseeable. If there is a specific thing that you know that you already have plenty of, like shower gel, or if there's something that you tend to buy every now and again, even though you don't really use it, so maybe candles or tubs of spinach, or if you just want to save a little bit, then commit to not spending your money on one particular item. Like with the lists, sometimes knowing what not to do is just as helpful, if not more so, than knowing what to do. This next one is something that I struggle with a lot, but I am going to make a concerted effort to stick with it because I know it has so many benefits. Picking a project and seeing it through. I have a terrible habit of starting something and then getting sidetracked by something else. Usually it's ideas, so ideas for something that I want to do, or a video I want to create, or a product I want to come out with. Sometimes it's even an idea for an Instagram post. Doesn't matter that I'm already working on something else. So I often find that I am trying to juggle multiple different things. You know, I'm switching back and forth and not really giving my soul a singular attention to one particular thing. I have lots of things on the go at any given time, which is great in one sense. You know, it fuels my creativity, I don't get bored, but on the other hand, not a lot gets actually finished. Apart from it being mental clutter that leaves me feeling frazzled, overwhelmed, overworked, and in need of a break, it can often lead to physical clutter as well. So I might have another idea for a video and I go out and buy a prop for it, or I will have an idea for a product or something I want to do and I will pay for some digital service, or I might buy a book so that I can research more on a topic. Currently reading a book that I bought as a result of squirrel syndrome. For you, it might be crafting supplies. It might be going out and buying new supplies before you've finished the project that you're currently working on, or before you have used up some of your stash. And listen, if down the road you discover that this project just isn't for you, it's just not lighting you up anymore, that's totally fine. Feel free to abandon it, but you have to clear the stuff out first. Nothing is left undone. You either see the project through to the end, or you stop somewhere along the way and you declutter the stuff before you move on to anything else. I am in this with you. We can do it. Okay, even though I am loath to move the dog, she's all comfortable here. Let's go downstairs for this next one. Next is to get reusable items, straws, bottles, bags, napkins, etc. to replace your single-use items. This one's pretty straightforward, but how much space would you save yourself if you went out and replaced all of your single-use disposable items with one or two reusable items? Not to mention, you're saving the planet too. Then you want to empty your freezer and make up a meal plan. Now, if your freezer is anything like mine, there is stuff in there that has celebrated a first birthday. Make a conscious effort to clear it out, either by using stuff up if it's still edible, or dumping or composting what is not. And then write yourself a basic meal plan. I normally hate meal planning, but I found a way that works best for me. So instead of slotting everything in and you're being very rigid about it, I will, for example, list out 7 dinners, and I can have those dinners at any particular time during the week. Like, I don't have to stick to whatever day it's on. I just see how the mood takes me on that particular evening. So it's not about, you know, being strict with what I have to eat at a certain time. It's more about giving myself some parameters, some options to choose from. Just an overall idea of the types of meals that I could eat that week. When I shop from that plan, then I'm a lot less likely to order something unnecessarily. It also means I only have on hand the things that I need, so I don't have a whole bunch of excess. I'm not going to the shop and just like grabbing a whole bunch of stuff that I think might work. And so from that, there is significantly less food wastage also. I have actually started using up tubs of spinach. I had something that I previously thought was impossible, but I have made the impossible possible. I am now eating it all before it becomes sludge. It's a miracle. Making a concerted effort to use up what is in here and then get yourself a basic meal plan is going to not only clear out a lot of food clutter, but save you from food and money waste. Another wonderful decluttering task is to unsubscribe, get yourself off junk mail lists, and switch to e-statements. Every day we are bombarded by bills and leaflets and papers and emails, and each of them takes something from us. It takes our time, our attention, our counter space. If you can go ahead now and cut it off at the source, you are going to be saving yourself so much time, so much frustration, and not just for today, not just this week, but forever. You will never have to see or deal with that stuff again. Clutter cannot pile up if it's not even coming into your home in the first place. Now, if paper clutter is something that you specifically want to conquer, then this video will show you exactly how to do it. Until then, go raibh míle maith agam. Agus feicim mé sibhte go luath. Slán!